What is up? What's going on, dearly beloveds? Welcome to another video or episode of Quadeuce, the Essence. And in this video or episode, I want to talk about astrology, beloveds. I want to talk about astrology, and I want to give the bottom line overview or breakdown on the overall means of what astrology all means. And I wanted to lay a common understanding that typically isn't talked about in today's esoteric knowledge when dealing and talking about astrology. And normally we hear astrology talked about and how it's helpful, and it is, and talked about in ways of how to follow it to find and discover yourself, and it's a tool for that. And astrology is a tool. It's a great tool. It's a great thing. It is very helpful for discovering yourself. It is very accurate. Because it's designed to be. It's part of the everything, the all. And everything that's part of the all is great. So, it's also, or it also can be, my bad, I forgot. The mic is up here today. It also can be dangerous. And I don't mean in a I'm scared of everything religious type of way. Like everything, not in a scared type way like they teach you in religion. But it can be dangerous in the way of keeping you in a certain space. It can be dangerous if you don't know all the knowledge about it, is what I'm trying to say. See, the zodiac signs, and this is part my opinion and part this is my opinion, but this is my opinion fact check. You know what I'm saying? I listen to a lot of information, and I go and do my own research. You feel me? And this is kind of like what I came up with, and where I'm at with it, and what I believe about the zodiac signs, right? Because you hear a lot of information about it, especially if you ain't never really dove into it. You hear all the fear-mongering information to keep you away from it and all of that. But, which, all of that is just to keep you from discovering yourself. All that fear-mongering to keep you away from empowering yourself. That's what this shit is all about. On the grand scale of things. And everything is meant to get you to attend to it, to grasp your attention. Everyone wants you reacting and doing and trying to become instead of just being. Simply because if you're the only thing that you really see, the people that understand the game already understand that the only thing that you really see, they traded the time value, the value of time. And I know time is a man-made thing for real, for real. But just so y'all know what I'm talking about, time. They traded the value of time, your time, for all this that you experience, whether it be bad or good, that keeps you away from just sitting and experiencing you outside of anything else. Because you came here to just do that, experience you. And in the physical form, you have the ability to express it. But a lot of us, we fall out of touch that we came here to experience ourselves in this reality in space, and experience others in this reality in space, which is ourselves. How, you might say, if you don't know? Because we came from nothingness. In the beginning, there was nothing. They told you that in your own Bible. But God. And then God said, let there be, and there became. Everybody focusing on the way, the words, the energy, which is good. But I think people are missing the fact that there was nothing. Okay? So we focus on that verse. Everybody who knows this verse, Genesis, in the beginning, it's the first. You should know it, man. It's the first book of the Bible, man. You ain't read none of the Bible, man. Read some of the Bible, man. I'm not Christian, but I don't knock any religion. The only thing about religion is it don't give you the whole aspect of things. It gives you parts. Now, those parts are part of the good. The whole aspect of everything is good. But taken out of context by not giving you the whole aspect and leaving you with pieces and confusion, that creates confusion. And confusion is not good. They also tell you that in your own Bible. They tell you confusion ain't good in your Bible, and your Bible leaves you confused, and you still keep coming back without understanding that, oh, this may just be a piece of the truth. It may be more to this. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of how it is with astrology. We having spiritual church. That's kind of how it is with astrology. Like, they tell you your house's signs and what it all means to you, but they don't tell you that all of that energy is within you. They don't tell you that because it's all designed to keep you stuck in something, but knowing your wholeness and your whole totality, and it's designed to keep you stuck in the energy of confusion, which is gonna be low vibration, and it's gonna pull you down, unknowingly or not. Your subconscious is confused. Why? Because the world is confused. You confused because you don't know, but your soul know all. You know, but you don't know, so you confused. Like, do I know or do I not know? Like, you see what I'm saying? And that's causing you to lower your frequency subconsciously. That's why we fail in frequency. You gotta know. See, people think that to raise your vibration is only to raise anything is to increase it. Knowing or wisdom comes from source or God. So if you raising your vibration to get closer to being that of God, you have to know your God. You understand? You have to know information. You have to at least have the ability to get to the truth in all things. That's to know. You know the truth. What else do you need to know what's going on? You see what I'm saying? You could skip the details, the fluffery, the lies, you know what I mean? And the exaggeration. Because you already know the truth. Everything else after that would just be an enjoyable story. And this is what this life is once you come spiritually tapped in and you know the truth. I know the truth. I know I can't die because I was never born. Do you realize why they say that? I just realized it today in a download. It just had came to me. People, I say all the time, you can't die. But it's a literal reason that explains you not being able to die and why you can't. That makes sense. Beyond them just saying it. It makes sense. Because you were born. Your body was born. See, you gotta become. Shout out to Brother Panic, man. You know what I'm saying? May his soul travel on and be great, as well as all the ancestors that taught this information and knowledge and other paths. You know what I'm saying? And your soul. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I do this every time. I just forgot what I was about to say. So much information, my brain can't keep up sometimes. Hold on. Okay, you can't die because you were never born. Your body was born. Your soul was already here. You see what I'm saying? So you can't die. You not your body. We can all agree to that. We all agree that after we die, gotta be something else. We ain't just gonna turn into decomposing bacteria. I mean, we are, but we not. But you exist in multiple dimensions. When people say that, they never explain how. They just say it. You exist here on Earth, physically, your body. When you die, it'll go back to Earth. Your spirit exists in the astros, in the astral realms. When you die, your spirit will travel and go back to the astral realms. Your soul exists in a whole nother realm. When you die, or when you, cause you ain't gonna die. When you transcend, that's why y'all need to get used to saying transcend, cause it's gonna change your whole perspective of death. When you transcend, you're gonna transcend and it's gonna go where it's supposed to go. If everything is good, if your heart is lighter than a feather, if you could let go and understand what you are, and if you have learned to know who you are as God and as love and as all of these things, your soul will go home. Home is different from everybody, for everybody. You feel me? That's what they don't tell you. But that's what they trying to tell you when they, all these different religions and all these different spiritual people that do all different spiritual practices that still be saying these different things that are similar, that are all similar in the fact that it relates to the one, but different in the fact that it's distinct places, distinct locations, distinct names of deities. You see what I'm saying? So all that's telling you is everybody right. Home different for everybody. You know what I mean? Now the big overall understanding of that is what you think is what it is, especially when you go to the other realms. In this realm, what you think has to take time to materialize through manifestation. You see what I mean? But it's like I don't even think that we understand the study. We don't have a good understanding of what death, the entity itself, is. And I don't even think we should call it death. Like, we should call it something else. Like time to go or something. You feel me? Like when somebody always say it's time to go, like you don't never think nothing bad about leaving. Shit, it's time to go. It's just time to go. Like the fuck we crying at a funeral for it's time to go. That's all it is. Time to go. And when you could understand it like that, man, you can have a whole different relationship with it, man. Like for real. I can just imagine this entity being just as light as life itself, in that it's the literal transition chariot, the car. It's sacred. It's the car it's the passage rights to the next. It's the passage rights to the next stage of life. Like, you passed the test. Like, it's time to go. Like, you completed what it is to be all and nothing. It's time to go. This is the ride home. We look at it so disgusting, like, if you ask me. But it's just a lot, man. I know I just unpacked a lot right there. But what was I talking about? Let me think. Oh yeah, getting back to the astrology, man. Um, we know about the positive sides, but we know everything has a positive and a negative don't mean bad. It means necessary. Okay? A challenge, a plot twist. Something happened. Why did something have to happen? Because if nothing ever happens, what's the point of this shit? It can't be no point to this shit if nothing ever happens. And it has to be a point to this shit because there's no point to this shit. The zero with the dot. You hear me? The zero with the dot that represents what would they say that represents? Infinity, or cosmic, the cosmic egg, life itself. The zero with the dot in the middle. There's no point. It has to be no point to be a point. That's what it's telling you. That's another thing it's telling you that people I'm not hearing. And it's coming to me personally in download. There has to be no point for it to be a point. A zero has no point to it. It just goes around and around. And then there's a dot in the middle. That's the point. The point is to go around and around and learn to love it in this cycle. And then when you can learn to love it in this cycle, you can love it in the next cycle and the next cycle. And that's what we know to be true from just paying attention. From just going through things over and over in life and growing. That's growth. That's just growing. Everything is just growing. But as far as astrology, on the other aspect of astrology, people don't know that astrology is also pretty much related to like it's 12 signs. So this numerology kind of relates to like the 12 archons and the 12 disciples. So it's really like 24. But I don't think nobody peep game. It's 12 it was 12 archons and 12 disciples. And that's simply telling you that polarity, the law of polarity, is simply showing you the law of polarity. Even the greatest energies that have been known to exist, had #12 positives and 12 negatives. The number is numerology, but what matters to me is the concept of it showing you basically Jesus was rolling with the 12 positive, the 12 that were willing to become positive. And Satan was rolling with the 12 archons to help him do what he did and create what he created. You know what I'm saying? But I think you're supposed to get the holistic picture 24, or what, 6? If you break 24 down, I think you get 6. I don't know if I be doing that math right or not. Don't quote me on that. You hear me? But, and I'm also, I'm getting downloads while I'm talking, so it's not coming. None of this information is something I wrote down, studied. Like, I know I don't make videos from, I tap in with the creative and get this information. And before I put it out as, okay, this pretty factual from what I've discovered, I research and I pay attention and I study. You know, I study people, animals, numbers, language, anything. Because there's something to it all. But it all means nothing. And to me, nothing and everything, is so beautiful. That's how great. Like, how can you mean everything to a person? Like, name me one person to you that mean everything and nothing. You can't name it. You see what I'm saying? That's how great that is. So you know, that's the power of source right there. Making everything be possible through one law. One law. See, that law of polarity also, I'm pretty sure, it gives you free will. Because that allows you to do good and bad. To have a need for good to have a need for positive and negative, for everything to exist and be balanced. That had to be allowed for it, you feel me? Polarity. You know, the two sides. See, and that's what gives you the free will. Because if it wasn't two sides and then one side, it wouldn't be no free will. See? So, when your mind becomes in the space of first knowing yourself before studying, then you can start thinking for yourself and discover information and break stuff down, and it will make sense to you. And it'll be true. It won't be like, oh, video evidence and 4K and scientific research. There's the archons and there, you feel me? You don't need all that. You don't need all that. The ancients never needed it, and you don't need it. And science, if you follow science and pay attention to it, it's steady proving everything the ancients already said and been saying, and we all be knowing. But we act like we have this complex where we need more evidence. Like, how much more evidence do you need before you just live? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying just jump on anything just because, but I'm saying how much evidence you need, how many videos you need before you start using it and implementing it. Implementation over here is what it's about. I promote implementation. Implementation. If I'm saying, I don't know if I'm even saying that right. You hear me? I'm medicating right now. Getting my vibrations higher. So, I don't know if that came out how I think it did. But you have to, before studying and trying to break down information, you have to get in the proper mindset. It's just like with sports. It's just like with battle. Before you just go into battle, you have to prep to have a serious mindset. Like, you have to know you going into war. And how do they prep people to go into war? By yelling and screaming and forcing you to feel hurried everywhere, and you feel me, having you to have to fire and operate a weapon under pressure while being fired at, and just putting you in situations. That's how they prep you for war. So it's like, you gotta prep yourself. You gotta prep yourself with your mindset before you even learn or think you learn anything. It's not just about learning. It's about putting it in the context. That's what the implementing or the implicating of it comes into play. Putting it, once you put it in context, then you can implement it into your life. You know what I'm saying? The problem why you learn all this information and you just learn it and sit there and don't do nothing with it and don't apply it to your life is because you can't, because you haven't put it in the context yet. You just know it as a knowledgeable fact, like like a bear goes into hibernation for however long. You just know it like a random fact. You know what I'm saying? You haven't pushed it up to putting it into context because you haven't thought about it enough. So to learn something and implement it, you have to think about it enough after knowing the information. Then you'll start to put it in the context once your thoughts wander enough of how it affects you in your life. Because that's what you're here to do, right? Exactly. We having spiritual church. So, once you put it in the context, then you will start to implement it. And that's what I'm doing right now when I make these videos. This is why it's not rote. It's thought about information. Think about a title, and then once I think about a title, I just go from there. Putting it all into perspective, putting it all into context. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm breaking it down in a way that only I can break it down. Because this is how it comes, this is how I put it in context for me. As I'm talking to y'all and y'all are learning some things, I'm also bouncing my own ideas off of each other. And because I'm putting myself in the teacher's shoes or spreading the information shoes, I'm putting myself in a different light than I normally am when I think about this. So this is giving me a different angle of light to see this shit at. So it's giving me a different perspective. Helping y'all, helping myself. What better relationship is there than perfect reciprocation? You feel me? What better relationship is there than perfect reciprocation? Tongue twisted with this string right here. What better relationship is it than perfect reciprocation? For real. So, the zodiac signs, back to that, they are meant for you to discover you in an individual sense. But all of the energies affect you at the time of your body being born. This is, see, it's almost like when the planets align up when you being born, right? And this is my own opinion, perspective download just came to me just now. When I right before I just said, see, when I hit that point, it's like this. When your body is being born, the alignment of the whole entire solar system is the soul that gets produced, or the souls that get produced at the time. You feel me? When your body is being born. So from an individual standpoint, it can perfectly tell you who you are, because it essentially, all of it is cosmic energy, which is who you are. That's what it's telling you. That's how I know. That's how it be so spot on. Like, yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's my horoscope. Yeah, that's my zodiac reading. Yeah, Capricorn. Yeah, Aquarius. Yeah, Gemini. Yeah, Sagittarius. Yeah. You feel me? That's how you connect and personalize, and a lot of people are very connected to the zodiac sign, and you should be, because it embodies a personal aspect of your persona and energies, or a personal aspect of your energies that pretty much embody your personification of who you are, the personification of who you are. That's why you connect with yours so personally. But all of them, the whole solar system alignment at the time you are being born, your soul is coming into your body. That snapshot when your soul is like, it's my time to go back into this reality. You know what I'm saying? That snapshot is like the preview of you and who you are. That snapshot is who you are in a solar system, solar embodiment. So it's who your soul is. It's what your soul is. You see what I'm saying? It's what your soul embodies, the characteristics of these planetary alignments and energies affecting each other this way in these circumstances. You see what I'm saying? So, that's why your zodiac sign is so close and similar to your personality. You know what I mean? But all of them affect you. And what that means is you're not here to let your zodiac sign stick you and get you stuck in a perspective of thought that you can't be anything more than an Aquarius. You are Taurus, so you gotta be stubborn and you feel me? Like that's just how you is. Will be people. Oh, that's just how I am. Like they didn't accept their flaws, but they have accepted them in a way that they've accepted them, but they don't do anything to work on them. They just expect everyone else around them to accept them or move out their life. You see what I'm saying? Without ever trying to work on them and make them better. Like the zodiac signs can stick you into this is who I am, this is what I came to do, this is what I identify with. It can further trap you into the matrix simply by not knowing that no, all of this is what you came to do. All of this is what you are. The solar system's full embodiment and full expansion of how big it was at the time you was born, because let's remember space is always expanding. But at the time you was born, that's what you are. Experience this all, this whole alignment, this whole cosmic energy that's sitting here and wrapped in an earthly glow, skin, you know what I mean? And wrapped in earth. You have a celestial body wrapped in earth. You feel me? So you're a celestial force down here on earth, making you a damn, I forgot what it's called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The force that you got interdimensional. What is it? I think what it would be interdimensional being or interdimensional. I don't know what we would be called. The people that's here, interterrestrial, not extraterrestrial, interterrestrial. I mean interdimensional. I'm tripping. You are a celestial empowered, wrapped in an inner terrestrial body, embodying this planet, basically. If you want to look at it like that. Look at it like you're a celestial power force from space, which is everywhere, wrapped in earth, walking on earth. Had to be wrapped in earth to vibrate at the frequency of earth to walk on earth. Huh? So what if this is not all such of a prison planet and a hell planet like they call it and telling it I hear in all the spiritual communities? What if this is here to be heavenly? What if you are a celestial body that came here to prove that to yourself when you remember and anyone you come in contact with, that we can walk around on a physical dimension and create a heaven on earth. Heaven on earth is the goal, which is a high vibrational state of being with all people is the goal. That's the simplified as it gets of how to get to heaven on earth, if you will. Or whatever they call it in your religion or whatever state of being you are, or spirituality practices you have, or whatever you call it personally. that on earth is always a goal. So we gotta raise each other's vibration. That's the goal of the collective. And we doing that because that goal is achieved easily by simply each individually raising ourselves and having that as our primary goal. We still at a point in society where we don't have that as our primary goal. Our primary goal is still going to work. Our primary goal is still uh becoming a celebrity. You know what I mean? Like, no, no. To advance in society, we gonna have to change our priorities. You know what I mean? We gotta get our priorities straight. That's the problem with us. Very uh capable people and beings and entities, and this is a very capable planet, but we gotta get our priorities straight. You feel me? Um but yeah, I'm not one to say astrology was meant to be good or bad. Cause whoever was giving it to you determines that. You feel me? Whoever it was given by. But the information still holds up. The information is still truth. You know what I'm saying? Truthful. And when you know the whole aspect of things, like I just said, it's all means everything and nothing, the circle with the dot in the middle, and you connect all of this, it makes a lot of sense as to why when you get the whole truth of the information, you understand this in totality, you can really live and move how you supposed to and want to out here. But when you don't, you could think you are because you know some information, but can't implement the information because you don't know all the information. You see what I'm saying? And if you do implement the information that you do know without knowing how the whole thing works in totality, and you just stuck. I mean, like it's like if you know all the information to put together a lawnmower and think you finna cut the grass because you now read this book and know how to put the lawnmower together, you put the lawnmower together and you still don't know how to use the lawnmower. You still can't cut the grass. It's like that. So if you got information and you don't put it in the context, you still can't use it. It ain't no point in having it. Just to know is like random facts. Eventually, your brain gonna deprioritize them and you gonna forget, cause that's how the brain works. Name the random fact that you learned June the 28th on Tuesday in 2005 when you was in whatever grade you was in that they taught you on that day in science class. You can't tell me because your brain naturally smarter than that. It done outsmarted the information in the system and it's prioritizing. Your brain like, man, we don't need to know this shit. Fuck out of here. You feel me? Like, this ain't gonna matter to you. This one random fact. It ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna make you a genius or no more money or no more physical progression and or no more spiritual progression in no aspects just from knowing this. But if it's something worth knowing and implementing, it goes to the front. Like how to tie your shoes. You feel me? Like how to wash your body. It's knowledge that's worth knowing and implementing, so it goes to the front. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta know how it all unfolds with anything. And that's the first thing to know. It's almost like you gotta know the end before you know the beginning to know how it all works. Before knowing the information, if you expect to be able to put it in context and use it. Like you gotta know that the end that you about trying to cut the grass. That's the end goal. Before you know about putting the lawnmower together and the instruction manuals of that, you gotta know how to use the lawnmower. So that way, once you put it together, you just hop on and cut the grass. But if you go buying a lawnmower and putting one together and have no idea how to use the lawnmower, now you gotta go have your neighbor teach you how to use the lawnmower. How embarrassing, right? Like how you gonna buy a $5,000 mower all nice and shit? John Deere, you feel me? I dual blades, the shit, with handles that spin around, you hear me? Then they come with a TV and a laptop on the side with a cup holder and shit. One of them nice joints. How you gonna spend your money on a good lawnmower, put it together, and get all prideful off the instructions and the ability to put it together, and then still gotta go ask somebody how to use it to cut the grass? That's why you gotta start properly, or it ain't no point. The point is, it ain't no point. But that's why you gotta start properly. You gotta start from the beginning. See what I'm saying? And the beginning is all there was all there was, which is all there is in the end. So now we can move forward with knowing that I'm here to enjoy what's in the middle now. I know the beginning. I know the end. I'm here now to enjoy what's in the middle. But to enjoy what's in the middle, you need to know the beginning and the end. How many people can't enjoy their life because they are too focused on what's going to happen in the end? How many super religious people you got walk around tighter than a brick wall, can't enjoy nothing for real because they too focused on the end and not knowing what coming in the end, so they scared. So they done let themselves, maybe, not speaking for our religious people, be scared and now they religious out of fear of not knowing what's in the end. So they can't live how their soul has been called to, they can't feel free how their soul has been called to feel in the middle. Because they got trapped on the end. How many people you know can't start? Didn't start right, didn't have the proper start, which may or may not be their fault. Typically it's not, because we come into this realm in a smaller form, having less of the ability to physically do and fend for ourselves. But how many people you know ain't had their mama and daddy, and something went wrong? There was a divorce, or you feel me? They let they start keep them from ever living what's in the middle and enjoying what's in the middle. Now they can't enjoy what's in the middle and the now, the moment, the present, the gift, life itself, because they got stuck at the start. So if you have the ability to get in the present moment at all and enjoy it, and you know that that's what this is really about, because it all means everything and nothing, then you where you need to be. Some people got stuck at the beginning. Some people got stuck at the end. Some people get stuck in between simply because they had to say they got the good start. They had the ability to enjoy the first middle section of their life. You feel me? After pretty much you grown, which is the first little section of your life. Enjoy the first middle section. But something happened. And then they got caught up in having to go through learning experiences from having no information and having nothing happen so far. You feel me? At different stages too throughout life. That's why the faster you get into spiritual information and knowledge, I feel like the easier this experience can be for you. And they knew that in the ancient days. That's why it wasn't no schools, it was temples. You feel me? It was the schools and the temples was one. Like, you feel me? That the knowledge was sought after. There wasn't no separation in it. They was searching for spiritual knowledge and physical knowledge. I mean, think about it. Look at the advancements of ancient Egypt. They did shit that we will never be able to do, it seems. And that's because we only search out the knowledge in a physical way. The ancients sought out the knowledge of how to do shit spiritually, physically. They did shit that we can't fathom and don't understand, and we got all these theories on, but really don't know, that took us millions of thousands of years to even discover. And all of this technology and information and all the things that they did and was able to do. And that's because we are living in a one-sided way of life. We search only in the physical for knowledge. We search only in the physical for relations. We search only in the physical for food. We search only in the physical. You see how much we search in the physical, but whole time we disrespecting the whole polar side of everything. So of course we'll never make those advancements, because we'll never make those connections. How they know that sound and vibration, which is a theory of how they move all of these massive stones to build the pyramids, how they know sound and vibration connected into the physical? Because they learned that in the spiritual. They connected with the sound and vibrations in the spiritual first, and they learned the power of the healings that sound does. How if you vibrate sound at certain resonances and have enough of the energy, it can actually lift physical objects that would be impossible to lift from machines. Sound energy weapons beat physical bullets any day. I mean, go back to Call of Duty Zombies when they had the ray gun. You couldn't wait to unlock the ray gun. Any gun on the game, a nigga want the ray gun. Why is that? Because vibrations travel in different ways. Unlike physical things traveling linear in one way. A bullet travels only with kinetic energy. But a vibration can travel through words, through actions, through what you could feel, what you could see, what you could touch, what you could taste. See, you know what I'm saying? It's energy. It can have the ability to travel in any way. That's why you wanted that ray gun on Call of Duty. You feel me? But this is how they was able to gain the knowledge and then put it into perspective and start thinking about how they could use the knowledge to help them. And they came up with, as you all know, as we all know, amazing technologies and amazing ways of life, as well as other ancient civilizations like the Mayans and the Incas and the Aztecs and the natives. You feel me? And the Atlanteans and so many other of people that understood what I'm telling you right now, beloveds. This is what it's all about. And this is what the law of polarity, and I hope I'm saying this right. But this is what is this reality. Just the law of polarity, seeing it in everything helps you understand and get more out of this reality. Without doing any more extra work or effort. Because you see more of a perspective. So you can make better decisions without working so hard. And that's some of the benefit that come with starting to study and interest yourself in the knowledge and information. Yeah. Yeah, beloveds. We have spiritual church. So that's the scoop on the zodiacs, man. I could have said that in like 5 minutes or 2 minutes and ended the video, but as you can see, when I come on, I'm coming on trying to come on for like a straight 30, a straight 45, or a straight hour every time. Because I know that more I sit in this energy into my etheric realm and think, and I get download, and things come to me, and I start putting shit together, y'all will get more information than if I was to just think about something like the topic, which I had already pre-thought of, which came to me while I was just doing some random things. Y'all will get more information, because that way I can put it together for y'all. It could be more than just I'm telling y'all this information and y'all now know this information and have no clue of how to implement it. Use it. So, dearly beloveds, that's what we do over here. We share information and vibrations, and I share my essence with you guys. And eventually this channel won't just be spiritual information. It may be other things as far as my mentality, maybe even my ideas, and my etheric forms, my astral forms, and my thought forms, and how I think about the world and certain things. I'm also going to share that stuff on here with you guys, because I think that information kind of goes hand in hand. So, but I might not. I might create a whole nother channel for that. Just my ideas and the way I think and my thoughts and how I think about things. Because I think just the way I perceive and my perspective on things is very unique. And I think that I should and could definitely create a channel just off of that. Just off the way I think and the way to think and how to discover more of how to think. And that's the never ending cycle, to be able to think better, be better, and live better, baby. It's your boy, Quadeuce. Another legendary video, man. Another very powerful, soulful, spiritual video, and I think we got into our essence in this one and had some spiritual church. Until next time, dearly beloveds.